Hi, this is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is a short teaching that I felt inspired to bring to you. I just got inspired like a minute ago, so I haven't done a lot of thought about this. 20 years ago, the Holy Spirit said to me that wisdom is a successful application of knowledge, and the way to acquire wisdom is not only gain knowledge, but apply the knowledge. So I've got 4 books written on how to write Christian nonfiction. I think the last book was just on nonfiction, not Christian nonfiction. And I wrote each of those books at various stages, one after I'd done 6 books, one after I'd done about 30 books, one after about 60 books, and one after about 100 books. And so I had more and more knowledge on how to publish books. And I was sharing that knowledge with people. But you can read all the books you like about writing books. It's not until you actually apply that knowledge that you'll write your book and you'll have a published book. And there's a tremendous amount of knowledge in the world. You can look up podcasts, or you can look up books, you can look up videos, you can go to university, you can go to churches for the rest of your life. There's so much knowledge in the world. You can basically get a book on anything, or you can buy 10 books on a subject and really learn. But you're not really moving in wisdom until you apply what the books say. I heard a story of a guy who taught internet marketing and how to market on the internet. And he had a free course, which is normally the course that gets people interested. He had a $500 course. He had a $2,500 course. He had a $10,000 course, and had a $15,000 course. And I knew a friend of his that was really close, that had learnt everything that he'd learnt, but just hadn't gone on and done a lot of marketing on the internet, but he knew a lot. And he said his friend that charged a $15,000 course, he said what disappointed his friend the most is that he made a lot of money charging hundreds of people $15,000, and he was making a lot of money. But what upset that guy was only 2% of the people that paid the $15,000 went through and participated and put into practice everything they were taught. He was upset that only 2% of the people that spent $15,000 actually applied the knowledge that they learned. Like, the knowledge was gold, but very few people applied it. The same is true in the Christian life. Only 2%, I estimate, actually walk in the Holy Spirit or are led by the Holy Spirit, that get their directions each day by the Holy Spirit. Only 2% of the church. Churches are full of people. There's millions and millions and millions of people going to church every Sunday. Only 2% of them, 2 out of 100, actually apply the Christian faith to such a point that the Holy Spirit directs them each day. Romans says that the sons of God are those people who are led by the Holy Spirit. People who are led by the Spirit, these are the sons of God. In the last days, the army of the Lord that are going to go and reap the harvest, they're going to go into the pubs and the brothels and the tattoo parlors and the racing establishments. Those people that go out and evangelize the world, they're going to be the army of God. And the army of God are only going to be made up of people who are led by the Holy Spirit, moving in the giftings of the Holy Spirit. 98% of the church God can't use or God can't direct because they're not hearing from God, or they're disobedient and they don't want to obey God. So wisdom. So it's interesting that my friend's, uh, you know, friend only had 2% apply the knowledge. It's interesting that only 2% of the church are actually applying it. Jesus spoke about that. He said, narrow and difficult is the gate that leads to life, and few find it. But broad is the way that leads to destruction. Narrow and difficult is the gate that leads to life, and few find it. What is few? Is that 50 out of 100? Is that 30 out of 100? Or is more like 2 or 3 out of 100? There's a lot of knowledge in the Christian church. There's a lot of people consuming knowledge on podcasts, reading books, attending church, going to conferences, but there's not many wise Christians. There's not many Christians moving in true biblical wisdom. There's not many Solomons around. There's not many people that you can approach with true spiritual wisdom. I've written 117 books on the Christian faith, but I've got a series called the Narrow Way series with 5 books in it, where I've got a book on the parables of Jesus, the commandments of Jesus, and a longer 200-page book on how to apply the commandments of Jesus. I've got 5 books in that series. You could read those 5 books in 2 weeks, but it'll take you 2 to 5 years to change your life so that you form habits to be obeying the teachings of Jesus. There's so many people in the church who say they know Jesus, they say they love Jesus, they say Jesus is their Lord. There's only 2% of the church that actually obey Jesus, that only obey what he taught in his parables and what he taught in his commandments. It's only 2% of the church. Wisdom is the successful application of knowledge. I really encourage you, if you want to learn more about the Christian faith, to look up the Matthew Robert Payne books on Amazon. They're all 99 cents. I encourage you to read some and apply them. If you listened to the end of the video, please press the thumbs up, the like button, and that will help me. If you've got a comment on this video, please comment, and I'd love to read your comment. And if this is the first video you've seen of mine, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. God bless.